Yesterday, 10th of June 2011, we received a notification by the Associated Press that the FDA had announced there was arsenic, which is a carcinogen, in the chicken that millions and millions of Americans eat every day. And this is an announcement that shouldn't be taken lightly, because as the FDA is admitting, arsenic is a known carcinogen that was found in the livers of these chicken, that this is something to take actually very seriously, because we have very, very high rates of cancer in this country. And there is no study to actually link the arsenic that is being consumed by the people, by the masses, with the ever-escalating cancer rates in this country. Now, I would suggest that any known carcinogen should be avoided at all costs, because we don't know what or which carcinogen can induce cancer in a person. There can be a combination of carcinogens, which is more likely, because we know there are many carcinogens like formaldehyde, which is added to vaccines. There are environmental poisons, there's mercury, heavy metals, there are chemicals in drugs that are known to act as carcinogens, and there are poisons and toxins in our drinking water. There are hormones that have growth-inducing capability, which can lead to cancer. So if a very known poisonous substance like arsenic is added to the feed that is given to the chicken so that it will destroy the parasites that they might incur, then that is an act that should be taken very seriously. And the FDA has taken it seriously, and they have told the company that is producing this particular feed, it's a subsidiary of Pfizer, and the company is called Alpharma, and that company has been involved in producing this particular feed that contains arsenic for a long, long time. In fact, chicken were given, factory chicken have been given arsenic since the 1940s. So for all those years, without people, the consumers, knowing anything about it, they have been given low doses of arsenic, which the FDA had claimed for many, many years would not cause any problems. It would be excreted with the fecal matter, with the feces that the chicken let go of. And it's the chicken litter that they found contains a lot of the arsenic. And they had claimed that there was valid scientific research to prove that the arsenic would not accumulate in the chicken, and therefore the chicken was safe to eat for the consumers. However, this was a blunt negligence, because these studies were never validated. There was never really any scientific basis to them. That was just an assumption. And now that a study came out that proved beyond the reason of a doubt that chicken contain arsenic in their bodies, and when people eat that, they will ingest that arsenic, and it may accumulate in the human body and act as a carcinogen. So the other fact is that chicken litter, which is filled with arsenic, has in the last 20, 30, 40 years been used as a feed for cows, for cattle, in order to minimize the amount of real food that is given to cows. Arsenic is also a growth factor. It has been shown to increase the growth rate. So the feeding industry and the food industry that is marketing meat and chicken is obviously very happy about this side effect of arsenic. It kills parasites, so that's another reason why it's been given to these animals. And the net side effect of all of that is that, according to the companies that have promoted arsenic, is to keep the animals healthy. But obviously, if there's arsenic in their livers and tissues, that doesn't mean they are healthy. That means they are pretty much sick. A healthy animal doesn't need to be given arsenic. Healthy animals don't have antibiotic-resistant organisms organisms that are now found in 48% of all the chicken and cattle, beef, and other meat products in the United States. Typically, a healthy animal doesn't have those antibiotic-resistant organisms in them. Antibiotic-resistant organisms develop in these animals because they are exposed again and again to antibiotics. And so different strains of bacteria evolve in order to safeguard themselves against the onslaught of antibiotics. So it is very natural that these organisms are now breeding and found in animal flesh foods. So I would suggest be very careful eating any of those products, because you never know what you're going to get, particularly when it comes to arsenic, which the FDA still claims in these small doses pose no danger. But how do they know? There are no scientific studies. It's just a statement that has no validity, no scientific backing. It's just they ask us to trust them. I would say be on the side of caution and avoid these foods at any cost. People living outside the United States will continue most likely to have arsenic in their chicken and of course in their cattle, because the chicken litter is a favorite cattle feed. So having said that, I recommend that you take this very seriously, because it can lead to potentially serious health problems, not just cancer, but there are many illnesses that are related to arsenic. And so it doesn't matter what they are, it should be taken very seriously. So I recommend that don't eat any chicken, particularly if it's factory chicken, commercial chicken, or meat, which already have been shown to increase the risk of dying by 20%. If you eat chicken or meat regularly, your risk of dying increases by 19 to 20% from all causes, such as heart disease, diabetes, and yes, cancer. So who is to say whether it's the arsenic or whether it's not the arsenic in the chicken and in the meat that is responsible for those deaths, for that increased risk of dying? It's hard to tell, but arsenic can certainly be included on the list of carcinogens that we are exposed to on a day-to-day basis simply by living on this planet. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.